Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Chat with Sandy and Karen. I'm Karen Jackson, and my partner is
Sandy Banso.
and we are so happy to bring you season 2, our very special guest, Francesca Zingaretti.
Great
And
job.
thank you. She is going to talk to us. We're just going to chat a little bit about learning languages and what the experience is like. And she happens to be a language teacher. How are you doing tonight?
A little bit tired. Been teaching the entire day.
Yeah.
But it feels great. Great to be here. Really great.
We
Well-
are so happy that you have taken your time on
Yes.
it
Yes.
and
Yes.
helping us bring on season 2. So you're a very special guest.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your story. How did you get into teaching, or if you want to talk about that, or specifically languages?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about myself. So I grew up in Italy. I have like kind of a weird background with languages because I studied in international school. So I was speaking English with my friends and in school, which was kind of unusual. Now it's getting to be like more popular in Italy, but back then it was not really like a big thing. So my parents always thought that learning a lot of languages was like a rich thing for a person. So they decided like to put me in this international school without really thinking of the drawbacks of it, meaning that I was like speaking more English than Italian. I was speaking Italian with my parents and my relatives, but I was really missing the kind of like slang of the kids my age. And this is something that is still there. My brother sometimes is like using words that I don't even know what they mean. So so English and Italian, and then French when I was in middle school, and I got super into languages. And then I decided to study languages at university. And that's where I decided to stick to English. And then I wanted to study a language that was a little bit more different than the others. I wanted to be like unique in my way. And then Venice University offered a course in Swedish language and culture. So I started to I studied Swedish. And then my English was obviously like great, and my Swedish was not the best. Had some problems learning it. I did 1 year of French as well, and there, like, when I started to see how I was like dealing with language and how I was like acquiring a language and everything, I was like, I would like to teach it. Actually, I would like to see how it works in the brain. So I got super interested in that, and I decided to take some teaching courses and then to do a master in teaching Italian to foreigners. And then I moved here because my Swedish was not great, and I wanted to like just, improve it. So yeah, I'm still not fluent, but I'm working on it. I swear.
Really? I've heard you speak Swedish, and I think you're very good.
Thank you. I'm just hiding behind pronunciation. That's what I usually do with languages. I hide behind the fact that I can reproduce sounds pretty well. So yeah, and intonation. Yeah.
What a great journey.
Yeah. It's
How
great.
long have you been in Sweden for then?
I moved here 4 years ago. We'll be 4 years in November. So yeah, it's been great. And before that, I was in Japan, and before that, I was in the United States. So I've been like all around.
That's I like that. Do you plan on doing more traveling as an adult and learning languages and teaching?
Oh yeah, for sure. Traveling for sure. I think I really like Sweden. I like the fact that they are like kind of like multi-ethnic and multicultural society, where you hear lots of languages every day. So I think I like this a lot of this country. So I don't think I would like to move somewhere else. I think I found where I'm supposed to be. but definitely traveling, doing short experiences, maybe abroad. That's a dream of mine. I think we were talking about this. Like I really would like to teach in Asia, specifically in Vietnam, because I've been there, and I would love to teach English there, and give something more to the kids. They really appreciate education. So, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Mm-mm.
That's great.
So tell us about your okay, so languages is where you hear so many different pronunciations, or you see something which makes you giggle, right, Karen? See a word?
Yes.
We can talk about your experience. What's yours, Francesca?
With pronunciation, I have to say that has always been my strength in every single language. As I said, I could like literally hide my grammar mistakes behind a great pronunciation, as long as I was not talking to a native speaker. But I think the best thing of it is actually like seeing my students feeling absolutely ridiculous then when they're trying like to reproduce accents and reproduce intonations. And that's actually part of the learning process. Like when just the fact that you hear that something is completely different from what you're used to pronounce or what you're used like to hear, that it sounds different, intonation is different, that you giggle a little, that means that you're kind of like picking up the fact that, oh, this is different in that language. And when you try to reproduce it, it's great that you actually laugh about it. So I'm always telling my students like, I can pronounce nurse for you in Swedish, the famous sjuksköterska that took me 3 years to learn. But then I'm like, but then I want to hear you. And thank you. I know I practiced so much. The who, it's so difficult, so difficult. And then they feel more confident and they're like trying. And then you hear, and then they stop, and then they just start laughing. And it's part of like learning a language. But sounds, you really need to train. It's like music almost. Like you need to listen to the different notes, and then that's why they usually say that music goes well with languages. So those that really like can play an instrument, usually it's easier for them to pick up a language, not from the grammatical point of view, but for sounds. So, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, Sandy's favorite group learned English by singing American songs or songs for America.
Did they?
Sandy, what's your favorite ABBA song? That's how they learned English.
Dancing Queen.
Yeah, there we go. I believe they started not knowing any English, and then they learned those songs in English, and that's how they learned the language.
Yeah, my students the other day, they actually got to know that mother in Italian is, or mom in Italian is mamma. And then people started to shout like, oh my God, it's like ABBA, Mamma Mia. And I was like, yeah, that's actually, the way that you react when you're surprised, you actually react like, oh, wow, Mamma Mia. And they all pick it up like this. So now they're going around being like, oh, Mamma Mia. So connections. Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Karen, what's your favorite word then?
Oh my goodness. It's a tie between strawberry and turtle. Jordgubben or Fuelpaden.
They're good, yes.
That was, I thought that was the hardest word in the whole Swedish language when I first saw it. It's, yeah, I'm embarrassed to say it.
Get to nurse and then let me know. Because I still have to find something that complicated. Like seriously, there are 3 different sounds in that word. I'm like, how am I supposed to put together hu and
Well, I think one day we'll know the limerick. Have you? Oh, Karen, there's something.
I've heard someone else say it once, but I don't know what it means, and I might know. I don't know. I don't know if I could pick out any words from it. But what? Yeah. Do you know it, Sandy?
Oh, you're joking. I am not fluent in Swedish either.
Yeah, we need to practice that, and then
Oh,
we'll start the podcast with it or something. Now, is it true that they used to have people say that in the war, and they knew if they were Swedish or not? If they could pronounce that?
I have absolutely no idea, but that might be. Wow.
There's some folklore about that, and one of the travel people I listened to said that that was one of the the tests to see if someone was really Swedish, because people would say, "Oh yes, I'm Swedish," but they couldn't pronounce that. So, not real Swedes, I guess. So, what? Let's see. So, what age group do you teach now, Francesca?
I'm at högstadiet in the other school, NIAS. So I teach kids that are between 12 and 15. And then I have Italian here at the Amerikanska gymnasiet. And here they're a little bit older, 16, 17, because I have both the groups, Italian 1 and Italian 2. So, yeah, it's challenging, I would say.
Is it harder? I've always heard it's harder for older students and older people to learn languages. Is there a difference in, have you noticed a difference in your experience?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, there are studies about this. Usually when you pick up a language when you're not an adult, you tend to be a little bit more logical about it. And also you don't really experience the language in your daily life, right? You pick it up as a foreign language. So you don't really kind of experience the concepts through the language. You just learn it as a foreign language in class. So you're very logical about it. So it's kind of like all in your left side of the brain. Whereas when you are still when you're a kid, it's easier for you to pick up words, to put them together, because during the learning process is different. Usually you use both hemisphere when you are left and right when you are a kid. So you can make connections easier. You can just you pick it up in a different way. It's easier for you to bring in the cultural, the emotional part, the logical part. You put everything together. Whereas when you're an adult, it's absolutely not impossible. We do that, right? We're Swedish every day. And it really works like music, right? They say the exact same about music. You can't learn an instrument if you are an adult. Picked up violin 2 years ago. It's doable. It takes more time because you have to train the muscle memory and everything.
Right.
But it's the kind of same thing with learning a language when you are an adult. You just have to train your brain to basically do that thing of connecting different areas of the brain all together. When you're a kid, you're more flexible and it's easier. But yeah, so I see a difference, but it's also about the two languages being conceived in Sweden in a completely different way. Like we're talking about Italian and English. I mean, they have probably been hearing English since they were kids. So English for them is not really a second language, but almost. Video games, and then they have TV shows, and they have books, and they have things like this, chatting with people all over the world, because that's the language that we all communicate with when we don't speak each other's language. Italian is very specific. So they learn it in a different way. They start from scratch, and it's like a culture that is so far away from them. But they're so interested because it is different. So it's different, I would say. It's just different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no hope for me now.
Absolutely, there is. I mean, I got to say sjuksköterska, so you can go ahead and learn whatever you want. I'm so proud of that word. I'm sorry. I'm just going back to it all the time.
Right, just throw it in there. Yeah, anytime you want.
Of course you can. And even your Italian, Sandy. Go ahead.
Right, yeah, we won't go there either.
I suppose as long as you put in 10,000 hours, you can get pretty good at anything.
Exactly. As long as you're motivated. motivation is like the key. That's why I always tell my students, like, why are you here? Like, what is the reason why you're doing this? Because I can't force you to learn it. You have to find your own motivation. And that's the only way you can really like intake a language, when you're interested in the culture and you're interested in hearing it and speaking it. So you are curious and motivated to just like get to know more. And that's the only way. Because I can't, like I always tell my students, I can't put things into your brain. You have to, you must want it. That's the thing.
True.
Yeah, that's pretty profound.
Yeah.
So tell us more about, I don't know. For me, I loved Italy. I loved the culture. I loved the sun
Hmm.
and the food.
Hmm.
So the experience, because I know that Italians are very, I think they get upset if you put certain food or wine together. Tell me how that experience has been with you.
All right. So,
Because this is all part of your journey.
wow, this is I have a story about this. This is great. So first thing is, yes, we're absolutely obsessed with patterns. There are certain things that you eat in a specific way and certain things you drink while eating a specific thing. And you don't mix them up. That's not something you do. And the fun fact is that my partner is French. And the first time that he served pasta and salad and chicken, I looked at him and I was like, what is going on my plate? Why is there pasta, chicken, and salad? My Italian brain said chicken and salad should be on another plate, because usually pasta is something you just eat on its own. You don't need anything with it.
Mm.
And there was this cultural moment where we just had to talk about it. It was like, why? It's carb. It goes with proteins and fibers and vitamins and everything. I was like, no, it's pasta. Pasta is like, no, you just eat it with this. And then there was the wine thing. When one of my friends were in Italy, I invited her and she came and she visited me and she asked for white wine while she ordered meat and then asked for white wine. And the waiter stopped and he said, I can't serve this.
No.
And I looked at her and I was like, you should ask for red wine. And she was like, but why? I want white. I was like, because you don't drink white with meat. And she felt forced to take the red wine because it's in your, like, that's what grandpa tells you in Italy and what he literally shows you. Like, he's eating meat and he has red, or he's eating whatever else and he has white. So yes, Sandy, we have specific things and we can't break those patterns. It's not okay.
So that was your first date with your boyfriend?
No, no. Oh no. Can you imagine? But that happened again with his mom, because she served gnocchi then with something else. And he stared at me first and then he started to giggle. And I was like, don't giggle. And he was like, no, it's fine. And then the mom asked me, like, is there something wrong? I was like, no, everything is absolutely perfect. And he kept giggling. I was like, okay, right. So, yeah.
Wow. I wouldn't even dare to cook anything Italian if I invited, or when I invite you over for dinner.
Yeah.
That wouldn't.
No, we're having Texas barbecue.
I'm doing fish and chips.
Break all the rules. And you drink beer with that, I think.
There you go. No, but I have to say, I'm flexible. I'm not that kind of person that says, like, I'm not this stereotypical person, like Italian person that says, like, you don't do this. It's fine. As long as you enjoy it, is fine. But I like the fact that we have like that everyone knows about it. Like, you don't do this with this, and you don't eat this with this. And I'm like, wow, how do you guys know? Italian people told me. It's like, okay. Yeah.
Pineapple on pizza.
Oh no.
And now there's a new thing in Sweden that I saw, and that one I have to say, I didn't react that much. Well, yeah, I didn't react that much to the pineapple. That's kind of okay. I got used to it. But I saw banana on pizza.
Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, I'm
What?
just thinking like, yeah.
Isn't it just,
It's a
but
dessert pizza.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, then it's sweet, right? It's
Yeah.
not, because we have like in certain restaurants in Italy, they serve like Nutella pizza where they just give you the dough and they put Nutella on top. That's delicious.
Yep.
Banana? I don't get it. Why would you do that?
I think we should do a taste. Oh, wow.
Fine. I never even tried the pineapple. I don't know if you tried it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully your stomach will not revolt. That it will stay
But they
calm.
might take my citizenship away though. If I tried that or pizza. Mm.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
I hope that never happens. That would not be good.
I wouldn't be so sure.
I saw someone put ketchup on rice today.
Interesting.
And I don't know if she just thought, this is something, the rice on its own maybe was a little dry, so she needed something on it. But I'd never seen that before. But
Do you think it's a
they drink,
substitute?
they eat a lot of ketchup here, at least in the lunchroom.
Yeah. But I'm
More
addict to ketchup as well. I love ketchup. So I'm trying not to buy it anymore. But I saw Swedish kids when I was an au pair here in Sweden. I saw kids putting ketchup on pasta.
Yeah.
That was a shock. But
Yeah.
I guess if they like it. But I don't see why you wouldn't use tomato sauce. I'm like,
If that's all maybe that's all they had.
I don't know. I don't know, actually. Because for kids, it's fun. Because for kids in Italy,
Well, yeah.
when you're a kid, usually you don't like tomato sauce. So they just give you like regular pasta and then they put some butter in it or some oil. And then you mix everything and you eat it like this.
Yeah.
And it's called white pasta. We call it like this. Pasta bianca. But here they actually like the ketchup on top. And then they mix. I never tried it. But apparently it's common.
Yeah.
I can see having one of these sessions with you. We blindfold you and then say, "This is the tasting session."
Wow. I'm
Ah.
scared. Can I be honest?
We would not do anything bad.
No. Just
unusual.
ketchup on pasta.
Yeah. Some people might think that's
pineapple on
really
pizza.
So, how many languages can you speak?
Italian, English. We count Swedish because I can definitely communicate. And then I'm picking up French. And I really, really would like to study Japanese. That's a dream of mine. But I know it's a very complicated language because I've never tried to learn a language that has graphemes instead of like letters. So I really would like to try like a language like that where you actually have to learn different thing, like the visual part of it is different. So that would be super interesting. But yeah, it's just 3. But it's 3.
That's a lot more than me.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's awesome.
But I mean, for kids here in Sweden, when I go back to Italy, I can definitely show off and say like, oh, I speak 3 languages. But we have so many kids here in Sweden that are amazing. They can speak like up to 5 different languages. And that's incredible. And they just like get the benefits from all of them. And so different languages like Russian and English and Swedish or Arabic or everything all together. It's great. It's super interesting. Really is.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Wonderful way to communicate.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that's the pause. That means.
well, Francesca, I know it's getting late. Really appreciate you spending your time with both Karen and myself.
It was my pleasure.
And telling us this journey. We want to invite you back and tell us more about your journey, and if you started learning any Japanese, and Karen and I can learn some Swedish, and maybe we can have tiny bit of a Swedish conversation.
Yes, we can do that.
Oh, maybe you can help us pronounce some Swedish words as well.
I help. Okay.
You're the language teacher.
I can help with, yes, I'll try. I'll do my best.
Okay, or you can teach us Italian.
Oh, they're up 100%.
Karen, we need to learn to how to ask for red wine with me in an Italian restaurant.
Absolutely.
Red wine with me. If you want to risk your life, you can go to Italy and try to ask white wine.
Well, it sounds like we'll go hungry. We'll go hungry if we try that.
So if we appreciate you, thank you very much for being part of Chat with Sandy and Karen. We hope to see you again. So this is the first time I'm saying this on the same side of the pond.
Yeah.
We like to thank all our listeners for listening in. Please join both Sandy in Chat with Sandy and Karen on Anchor. We are on We are on Apple, Spotify, Google. We're out there. And we've got a special competition coming up. Hopefully we can announce it next week.
Yep.
Great. For our listeners.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Francesca.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.